Yes.
Okay. So now today we are going to look into some concept called SDLC models. Okay. So we already saw software development life cycle. Now we are going to see some model, means some methodologies. Okay. What is the concept called? SDLC methodologies, SDLC models. Okay.
Okay.
So what is the use of this model? Means, for example, we are doing testing. Okay. How, what process we are following? Because everyone has to follow some standard process. Okay. So we are following this standard process now. So that is called SDLC methodologies or models. So before almost 20 years, everyone were following a methodology called waterfall model. So what is waterfall model? So in the waterfall model, the outcome, see here when we discussing about SDLC phase, on the first day, the developer will go through the requirement and start the developing, writing the code. We also on the first day itself, we also will go through the requirement and then we will start writing the test cases. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now, in waterfall model, in this model, the outcome of one phase act as the input of next phase. Okay. So even when we are looking into SDLC, we are thinking the first phase, requirement phase output will be the input of designing phase, analysis phase, and analysis phase output will be the input of designing phase. Okay. In the same way, here also in waterfall model, the outcome of one phase act as an input of the next phase. This is time consuming model and we can't add new features in between. So what was happening in waterfall model before 20-25 years? So everyone were following waterfall model. In that waterfall model, if we take a requirement, okay, and we used to decide a deadline, right, for 6 months or 3 months, okay, till that deadline, the software companies used to not accept any change in between. They were not accepting any change. Okay. So what they were doing? So they used to take the requirement, they used to develop, test everything and complete. And then only they used to accept new requirement, new changes from the client. So before 25-30 years, there were no frequent changes happening because that was the time when the software was coming up. So everyone were coming up with requirement before starting, and then they used to stick to the same requirement. If they are having some changes in between, they used to take after this first cycle completion. Okay, so you are clear about waterfall model, what it used to happen?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
they will not accepting the changes in between. Okay, then they came up with a V model. So almost in 2005-10, the V model they were using. Okay, so before 15 years, 20 years, V model has come up. So in this model, the development phase is planned in parallel. So there were verification phase and on the other side validation phase. So here I'm telling two words called verification and validation. So here verification, when we think about verification, what is verification? What is verification? Can anybody tell?
It is checking.
So verifying means something checking, right? So no.
Yeah.
Okay. Validation means also checking. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. See, verification means when we are working in a company, someone will verify the work, whatever we are doing is correct or not. We are following the correct company guidelines or not. We are following the quality metrics or not. Or we are violating some company rules. someone will be verifying. There will be a quality assurance team. Okay. See, for example, when you take a call center, customer care center, okay. So even when you call customer care center, have you heard the voice saying that your call will be recorded for your future reference? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also when you're talking to customer care, even the company will be randomly listening few of the calls. There will be a team, quality assurance team, who will be listening to some calls randomly to check how the customer service representative is handling the customers. Is he giving proper response to the customer or not? Whether he is able to clarify his questions or not. Okay, so they will be tracking. So they will not hear all the calls, but they will be hearing some random calls. Okay, so why? To see whether the person is following the company rules, regulation, guidelines or not. Okay, so that is called verification. So when we are working in a software company also, we'll be having a quality audits. We'll be having some audits. Okay, so they will be checking whether each and every employee is following proper rules and regulations, proper guidelines of the company. Okay, to achieve the development, even it is development team or testing team, they will be checking whether they are following the guidelines or not. For example, when we are writing test cases, okay, they'll be doing some random check whether we are following the correct process of writing the test cases or not. If the developer is doing, whether they are following the correct guidelines of coding standards or not. Okay, so this is called verifying. So verification is something that is done on the employees. Okay. Now when we come validation, because when we are working, everyone has to follow the company rules and regulations. We have to follow company rules and regulations also when we are doing the work. And also in the other side, we'll be doing validation. What is validation? Validation is nothing but to validate on the application. So we are validating the functionality of the application. See, verification, they are checking whether we are following the correct standards or not. Validation is whether we are validating the expected result and the actual result is correct or not. So validation is the one which we do on the application. Verification is the one which the company will do on us. Okay, is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the difference between verification and validation. Okay. So now almost from last 15 years, everyone are using agile. You can hear only the word agile. So now there are no waterfall and no V model. Even if some projects are using waterfall, so no projects are using waterfall model now, but if some products are using waterfall model, means it is a old project which still they are continuing the same phase. Okay, so if somebody tells we are following waterfall model, means it is a old product where they are still working. Okay, so no new products or projects are using waterfall model anymore. Okay, so if somebody tell you we are using waterfall model, means they are in a maintenance phase. Which phase they are?
Maintenance phase.
They are in maintenance phase, means they are doing some new changes, new defects, fixes. Okay, for the old implementation. So now we are going to discuss this agile model, which is very, very, very important. So in your interview, the first question will be which model, which methodology you are using in your company. So we all are going to tell that we are using agile methodology. Which methodology?
Agile methodology.
So this is very, very important. So everyone have to understand what is agile methodology. It is very simple. We also have to know what happens in this methodology, why we want to use this methodology. Okay, so this is not some technical thing. Okay, this is just the methodology. This is a process which we follow to do our work, how to achieve our daily work. Okay, So when we are following some process, we will be having some rules and regulations, some guidelines, right? In the company. Okay. See, for example, when we are joining some school or college, they will have their own guidelines. Like morning, the school starts at 9 o'clock. We'll be having some prayer. Okay. Then we'll be having some classes will start. Again, we'll be having first break, lunch break. Again, one more break. Again, we'll be having some leisure time. So these are the regulations of the school. In the same way, we'll be having some regulations how to achieve how to get the quality product, how to achieve the complete process. Okay. So this is not technical, but this is the process oriented. Okay. Where everyone have to follow. So in Agile, when we are working in any software, so for example, my software, every release will be for every 3 months. Assume every 3 months. So now, if you see in WhatsApp, do you get when you go to Apple Store, when you go to Play Store, do you see new version is available for update for any mobile application, mobile app? Do you see? You will have some 1 month or 2 months new version to be updated. Have you come across?
Yes.
So why you are getting the new version?
Maybe they are adding some features.
So it can be a new features or some defect fixes. So no. So whenever there are some new defects or new features added, how that new features and new defects can be available for the customers, for the users, means they'll be releasing the new version. Yes or no? So when they release the new version, the customers will be getting notification. Whenever you open the app, they will tell that new version is available. If you want, you will update. If you don't want, you will just skip. You will continue with the old version also. Okay. If you want to get the new features, new defect fixes, then you have to update to the new version. Now, the software company also, they'll be having some guidelines, like we will release the application for every 3 months. Okay, because in olden days there was no such competition, but now there is so much competition. Like in every 3 months the requirements is changing. The companies are coming up with new ideas. If you take a 1 year to develop, assume if they are taking some requirement to develop for 1 year, in 1 year the things are changing so much rapidly, that things are changing rapidly, so that by the time, see, the requirement which you are analyzing now might be very new requirement, but by the time you develop and deliver, if you're taking 1 year, by that 1 year, the requirement now which you are analyzing is becoming very old technology, because the technology is rapidly changing. Now, if you hear everywhere they are telling cloud, okay, they are telling chat GPT, so that technology is changing rapidly. So what the application, the softwares also are, people are changing rapidly. They want their changes quickly. Okay. So see, when the mobile phone has introduced, the Nokia was very famous. So everyone were using Nokia. But what was the problem with the Nokia? They were not changing. They were not adapting to the new changes. They were still using the old technology, even though the Nokia was very famous. Even now, the people will tell the Nokia product was very good. Even if when the mobile falls down, it was not breaking. But now there is no market for Nokia. The market is dead. Why? Because they were not changing as per the market. Yes or no? The Nokia was very good model. Okay, but why the Samsung and other models has taken over the market? Because they adapted the changes. Okay, see, if you see Samsung, there are many models. Every 1 month, 2 months, they'll be releasing with new model. Okay, but at the time, Nokia was having standard models. So But what people are expecting new changes. See, everyone wants new things. Whenever you are going to purchase some new thing, new model, you want more features, more additional things. So even the software companies are changing so much very rapidly. So everyone wants the change. So everyone wants the requirements to be delivered as soon as possible. They are not waiting for 6 months or 1 year. But for waterfall wave model, they used to wait for 6 months. They used to wait 1 year. But now, if they are waiting for 6 months and 1 year, by the time you're giving the software delivery, it is becoming old technology. The users are not going to use those technologies. Okay, so everyone are expecting frequent release into the market. They want, even though they are not release the whole things at a time, but still they want to release the application with minimum requirement frequently. Okay, so in Agile, the entire project is divided into small incremental builds. When I tell incremental, means they are releasing the application with small features regularly with a small builds. In the Agile model, the entire project is divided into small incremental builds. All of these builds are provided in iterations. Okay, iterations means build number 1, build number 2, build number 3. So they are releasing small builds. Okay, say for example, when WhatsApp came up, they were not having WhatsApp status, they were not having WhatsApp group calls. Okay, so then what they released initially with minimum requirement, how to send a message to individually. Then they came up with WhatsApp call. Then they came up with WhatsApp status. Then they came up with WhatsApp group. Then they came up with, even now they are able to allow group calls. Before, in WhatsApp group, they were not allowing more than 5 people. Now they are allowing to call all the people in the group. So see, they are not waiting to have all the functionality at a time and release after one year or 2 years. They were releasing step by step, so that they're making the customers to get used to that application. Okay, clear, right? Yes or no? This is what happening with the WhatsApp. In the
Yes.
same way, with all the products or projects which want to release, they're not waiting till a whole project are getting ready, because it may take time, 6 months, 1 year, but they are not waiting. They want to release step by step, so that the customers start using the minimum things and get used to that. So what we are doing in Agile, we are releasing the product in small builds. Okay. So in the same way, we are having something called sprint. What?
Sprint.
Sprint.
Sprint. Okay. So sprint means the work which can be delivered in a time of 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which can be delivered in a time frame of 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So we all will say that you are working in a agile methodology of sprint, agile sprint of 2 weeks. How many weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. So now what happened in 2 weeks? Before the 2 weeks, see, when I tell in sprint, V means it is a scrum. It is a sprint team, scrum team. Okay, scrum team. Okay, agile, it is a scrum. In agile, we are having two things. One is scrum and one is Kanban board. Okay, so in Kanban board, they are taking, but they don't have a deadline. Whenever they are doing some innovation, they will not put a deadline as 2 weeks for that particular thing. Okay, in Kanban board, they will get the updates regularly, but they are not fixing the timeline. Okay, but when we take Scrum, they are having a sprint of 2 weeks. So in a project, they will not call developer, tester, business analyst. They will call together as a Scrum team. Okay, so what are the roles contains in Scrum team is developers, testers, business analyst, everything. So now in all the companies, they don't call tester, developer. Okay, because even the tester they call as developer for automation tester, because the automation tester also is writing code, but he is writing the code whatever is required for automation. Okay, so they call together the whole team as Scrum team. What team? Scrum team. Okay.
Scrum team.
Okay. So we all will be part of the Scrum team. Okay. So in Scrum team, we are following sprint method. Okay. So sprint is of how many weeks?
2 weeks.
Very good. Very good. So what we will do before start of each sprint, we will promise to the product owner. Who is the product owner? Who is the client? Client is the person who is giving work to us. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Client is the person who is giving work to us. For example, when we go to order laddu to the shop, okay. So the person who is going to order laddu, the customer is the client to the shopkeeper. And the shopkeeper will promise him, okay, I will deliver the laddus by tomorrow evening. And he has to deliver. If he is not delivering, then the client is not happy. Yes or no? Because if he has function at evening 7 o'clock, he comes to take the laddu at 5 o'clock. If he tells, no, I will give tomorrow morning, then the function is already over. Yes or no? Then what the customer will tell? Then I don't want laddu, you only keep your laddus. Because the client is not happy. So now, even in software, we are promising to the client. So in client means there will be a representative called product owner. Okay. So product owner will involve in the meetings, and he will be telling what has to be taken in every sprint. Priority. He will be setting the priority. Okay. See, we are only doing, the Scrum team is doing, but he will be discussing the stories. Okay. So in the plan, before starting of the sprint, the Scrum team will tell how much work they will deliver to the product owner by end of the sprint. How much work we can deliver. Okay. And at the end of the sprint, we have to show the demo to the product owner, client, whatever we have done in these 2 weeks. Okay. So what happens? The product owner will get idea of the application for every 2 weeks. Okay. See, we are not releasing the application to the market. Okay. We are just showing the presentation demo to know if any other changes are required to the product owner. Okay. See, for example, now they are coming up with new application. Okay. So my product owner was having some imagination like, okay, my application should be looking like this. Now we took that and we in demo after 2 weeks we are presenting to him. While presenting, he thought, okay, I thought if this is like this, it will be good, but this is not good in this way. If we change in other way, it will be very good. Then what he will do? He will come up with changes in the next sprint. And we are going to accept the changes in the next sprint. See, we are not going to accept the changes in the same sprint, but we are accepting the changes in the next sprint. In waterfall and V model, we used to not accept the changes till we deliver the whole requirement, which was taking 6 months. Okay. But here, for every 2 weeks, we are accepting the changes also. Okay. Is it clear? So in Agile, we are accepting the changes, frequent changes from the product owner. But in V model and waterfall model, we used to not accept the changes unless and until we deliver whatever they have given the initial requirement. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So what is advantages of Agile?
To make the frequent changes.
We are accepting the frequent changes, and also we are presenting to the client in every 2 weeks the product. Okay. We are presenting, we are giving him a demo of the functionality. Okay. So that if there are any changes, they are coming with the changes also immediately. Okay. Fine. So in Agile, there are mainly 3 roles. How many roles?
3 rows.
The first one is product owner. Product owner. The second one is Scrum Master. Okay. So we all are together called a Scrum team. What we call?
Scrum.
Scrum team. Okay. So who is Scrum? Who is part of Scrum team?
Developers, analysts, test engineers.
So the whole people who work in the
Business.
project together is called a Scrum team. Okay. So now we are having product owner, we are having Scrum team. Scrum team is nothing but called as a development team. Okay. And also we will be having a person called Scrum Master. Who?
Scrum Master.
So totally how many roles are having? We are having product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. Okay. So who is product owner? The role represents a client and the business in general. So the product owner is nothing but it is a client who is getting the business for us. Okay. For the product or project on which we are working. Is that clear? Product owner is a person who is telling what we have to develop. See, he is not telling how to develop because we are technical guys. We know how to develop. But what to develop, he is telling. Okay. For example, he is telling login page. He will be telling in login page what are all the functionalities he wants. Okay. So product owner will discuss all these things with whom?
Business analyst.
Scrum team. Scrum.
No. Business analyst. Okay. See, first they will discuss basic thing with business analyst. Then business analyst will come up with the user stories. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Then business analyst along with the product owner, they will be explaining to the team. Okay. But they have to come up with the clear explanation, right? Because product owner know that he wants these functionalities, but he don't know how to explain to the team. He may just give an overview. That's it. But in-depth explanation will be given by the business analyst by analyzing. Okay. Clear? So product owner will come up with the ideas, what he want. Okay. But business analyst will come up with the clear requirement. So he will come up with what are all basic things required to achieve this, how to achieve this, everything business analyst will analyze technically. Okay. Clear?
Yes.
So product owner, this role represents the client and the business in general for the products on which they are working. They own the backlog. See, when I'm telling something called backlog. Okay. See, for example, I'm having a project, software project. So there are 100 functionalities in them. So when I'm telling 100 functionalities, we will not work all the 100 functionality in one sprint, right? It is not possible. Okay. But there are 100 functionalities which product owner has told to business analyst, and business analyst has created small things. Here we will tell agile. When we are telling agile, we will be using some agile tool to maintain. Okay. To maintain our work, to see what is the progress of our work, we will be using something called Jira. What?
Jira.
There is it's a tool. That's it. Huh? Here in agile process, nothing is technical. Everything is process oriented only. Okay. We have to understand agile. That's it. Okay. So it doesn't involve any working like writing code or something. No, it is just the process how we will be doing. That's it. So we all say that we are having an agile tool to follow the agile. We are having a Jira tool to follow the agile. So in Jira, the product owner will give the requirement to the business analyst. Like for example, he want a login page. In the login page, he want username field, he want password field, he want a login button, he want reset password. Okay. He want a link to create account. So these are the buttons. These are the functionalities which he want in login page. Okay. Now in login page, he want this. And also he will tell for username field, what should be the minimum allowed characters, what should be the maximum allowed characters, and also what combination the username should exist. This is all the requirements which are given by whom?
Product owner.
So these are the requirements given by whom?
Product owner.
No, product owner is giving to the business analyst. Business analyst is creating a clear document to explain to the team. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Template
Okay.
only, right?
So business analyst, if he has doubts, he will call to the client, he will take an appointment, he will meet the client, get it clarified and create a requirement document. Okay. If we have any doubt, to whom we will contact?
Business analyst.
We will contact business analyst. If business analyst has doubts, to whom he will contact?
Product
Client.
owner.
Client. Okay. So the product owner, the client is telling that he want a login page with the username field, with password field, with sign in button, create account button, forget password. Okay. And also he will be telling what should the functionality of forget password should work, how the username and password should work, how the field values, how many values it should accept, how much should be minimum characters, maximum, everything will be telling by client. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, after telling, the business analyst will create a complete document. Okay. Word document. But Word document, when they are creating Word documents, they will not save that in their local system. They'll be having some common place to save those documents, so everyone can access the document to read. Okay, before they used to have something called SharePoint, where they used to place in a location and share that particular location to everyone. But nowadays, everyone are using some online tool called Confluence. What? Confluence is it's just a website, like, okay. So what they will be doing in Confluence, they will create a pages, and each page they will put the corresponding requirement, and then they will share the link to the Scrum team. So we can click on the link, we can open Confluence and we can read. If something changes, even we can add our inputs, we can add our comments in the Confluence. Okay. So we are using two things in Agile. What are the two things we are using?
Jira and Confluence.
Very good. We are using Jira and Confluence. Why we are using Confluence? We are using Confluence for documentation. Okay. And why we are using Jira? We are going to look now. Okay. So what happens now? Business analyst will go through the requirements and come up with the requirements clearly. Okay. They will prepare a document and make the document available in the Confluence pages. Okay. Now who has to develop this requirement?
Business
Who has to develop?
business analyst.
No, development team.
See, business analyst has already analyzed and put that requirement in Confluence. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now who has to develop?
Development team.
See, development team will only develop. Who is going to test?
Testers.
Testing team is going to test. And together, development team and testing team is called as Scrum team. Okay. See, Agile is very, very important. Because this will be your first interview question. Will be about Agile only. Okay. So because when you are telling fresher, they will not ask, but when you are telling experience, they will ask these questions. Okay. So now
I have one question. What is the difference between the product owner and business analyst?
see, product owner is the one who is bringing who is telling the requirement. He's nothing but the client.
Okay.
See, business analyst is the is the employee of software company. Okay.
Okay.
Who is getting the requirement? Yes or no? From where he is getting the requirement?
From the product owner.
From the client. Yes or no? Client is nothing but a business product owner.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
See, for example, now we are having ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank, who is the owner of ICICI Bank? It will be CEO. Okay. Now, if TCS wants to get the requirement of ICICI Bank, they will not go directly and contact the CEO, right? Even in ICICI Bank, they will be having product owners who is working for that ICICI Bank. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. What is their job? Their job is to come up with new ideas, new innovations. See, CEO is paying salary to them, to the product owner. Why? To come up with new ideas. And they have to tell the ideas to the software company business analyst. Yes or no?
Yeah.
What is the duty of CEO? His CEO is to increase the business, pay the salaries, to look into the funds. Yes or no?
Yeah.
What is the job of product owner? To get new ideas. Okay.
Yeah.
And then so now is that clear for you? Difference between product owner and business analyst.
Yes.
Business analyst belongs to the software company. Product owner belongs to the client who gives us the requirement. Okay.
Yeah.
See, when product owner is giving the requirement, he will give an overview. He will give an high level requirement. Okay. High level ideas. Based on this, business analyst will analyze and come up with a detailed requirement. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. See, where product owner is telling he want a login screen. Then business analyst will ask, okay, in login screen, what are all you are expecting? You tell I need a user, I need something where username, user can enter the username, he can enter password, he can click on login. Okay. Then business analyst will ask, okay, what type of usernames we should allow? What should be the minimum character? What should be the maximum character? What type of passwords we may allow? Like it should be alphanumeric or only numbers. So these are all the requirements which business analyst will get clarified. Okay. And then they will explain to the Scrum team. Okay. So now business analyst has created Confluence, clear documentation. Now the development team has to work on the requirement. So if there is a login page, it may take more than 2 weeks to develop. Yes or no? Because it is having different functionalities. Like create an account. Create an account means registration flow. Okay. Reset password. We are having username field. We are having password field. We are having sign in, login, sign in button, everything. So this may not be possible to develop in 2 weeks. It may take more time. So what the business analyst will do, they will make the whole requirement, they will divide into small functionalities. Okay. What they will do, they will create the whole functionalities into small pieces. Okay. See, for example, you want to build ground floor of your house. Then what we will do, we will not build the ground floor at a time. First, what they will do, they will put pillars and then they will construct slowly. Yes or no? One step by step. Even if you want to build a 5 storage house, they will start building from the basement. First basement, then first floor, then second floor, then third floor. Yes or no? Step by step, they will build the house. The same way, when we are developing some application also, we can't develop the application together at a time. We will build it slowly, step by step. The same way, now the business analyst is going to create a small user stories. What?
User stories.
User stories.
They call it as user story. Okay. Where they are creating the user stories? They are creating the user stories in Jira. What?
Indeed.
Jira. Okay. So for example, for login page, they will create one user story for username field, one user story for password field, one user story for login button, one user story for forget password, one user story for create account. Getting my point? So the development team will take a single user story and then they will develop, and then they will integrate all the stories together to create a login page. Getting my point?
Sir, what is your user story?
User story is nothing but a small functionality.
Okay.
So instead of developing on login page, each individual will work on small functionalities. Okay, so one person will work on username requirement, one developer may work on forget password. No. So in this case, what happens? Everyone, the work is allocated, and then the delivery is fast now. See, one person working on login page will deliver fast, or 2-3 people working together on the login page will deliver fast.
2 or more people.
2.3%.
When 2 or more persons are working, how will you track who is working on what? Sometimes same functionality can be worked with multiple people also. Yes or no?
Yeah.
We should avoid duplicate work, right? In that case, we have to know who is working on what. So what they will do, each functionality they will divide into small parts, and then they will assign to the corresponding developer. How the assigning having means they will create a user stories. Okay, so I will explain Jira in detail, then you will understand more. Okay, so as of now, you just understand that there will be business analyst will create a user stories. Okay, what the
Okay.
business analyst will create?
User stories.
Okay, for example, there are 100 user stories. Okay, all the 100 user stories together is called as a backlog. What?
Backlog.
Whenever I say backlog, it is nothing but all the list of pending work. Okay, backlog means group of user stories which are not yet developed. Okay, backlog will contains of group of user stories which are yet to work, which are yet to work, yet to start, yet to complete. Okay, so the product owner, business analyst will create a backlog. What they will create?
Backlog.
They will create a backlog. So what contains the backlog? What the backlog will have?
Group of user stories.
Very good. So backlog is nothing. Just there will be a small, like for example, it is a folder name. Assume it is a folder name. Backlog is a folder name. That's it. Okay. So whenever they create a user story, they will just place there. That's it. Okay. So that they will, when they go to that folder, they will understand how many user stories still we have. Okay. Yes or no?
Okay.
That is a place. That's it. There is nothing. Okay. It is just as a folder. Okay. It is a place where we are having all the pending work. Okay. So now also they will also set the priority, which work has to be taken next, which work has to, they are having 100 stories. 100 stories can't be worked in one sprint. Okay. It may take some 10 sprints to deliver all these 100 user stories. What they will do, they will also set priority, which story is priority. So based on the priority only, the development team will take the user story and develop. Okay. See, for example, there is a functionality for login and a sign out. Which is priority?
Login.
Why login is priority? Why sign out is not priority?
Without login, we can't sign out.
Yes or no? So, see, for development team, development is anything, but they will set the priority. Okay, because the product owner know which functionality he wants first. Okay, so no. See, even if we're discussing about WhatsApp requirement, they first came up with normal WhatsApp messages, and then they came up with the WhatsApp group messages, then they came up with WhatsApp status, then they came up with WhatsApp group call. So see, they're coming slowly. So they have already set the priority what they want. So no. And then they are coming up with the same priority. The same way, when we are working in software application also, the product owner will come up with some priority also in the backlog. Is that clear?
Yes.
So what is product owner? Who is the product owner?
He's a client.
Client.
He's the client. What he will be? What is his job?
Who has
Come
to
up
work?
with new ideas.
Yeah. So the product owner will own the backlog. Okay. Okay. He will own the backlog, and also he will set the priority, which work has to be done first. Okay.
Okay.
So product owner, this role represent the client and the business in general for the product on which they are working. Okay.
Okay.
They are the owner. They are the business. Okay. For us, the owner is a product owner only. Okay. Because he is only the client for us. Okay. Because he is representing the client. When I tell representing means he is representing his company on behalf of the company. Okay. They own the backlog and prioritize item to work on before every sprint. They are the one who is translating customer needs into user stories for the development team. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now we are talking about different role called Scrum Master. So now, till now we were hearing the word Scrum team. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Who contains in the Scrum team? Developers,
Development.
testers, business analysts, all together called a Scrum team. So assume there are 5 developers and 3 testers and 2 business analysts. So there are 10 members. If product owner wants some status of the team, with whom he will ask? Will he come and ask all the 10 persons?
No.
Because I have the status of myself. Okay. You are having status of your work, whatever you are doing. But how the product owner will know? Because he also wants to know the status of that work, how it is going. Then how? He can't come and ask each individual, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So for every Scrum team, there will be a Scrum Master. Who?
Scrum Master.
There will be a role. It's just a role, Scrum Master. Okay. So either he can be a developer, also can act as Scrum Master. Even a tester also can act as Scrum Master, or business analyst also can act as a Scrum Master. Or if it is a big company, they can have a separate person called Scrum Master. Okay. If it is a small company, they don't have a separate person, because if there is a separate person, they have to pay salary for him separately. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In big companies, they have so much money, they will pay. In small companies, they don't have that much funds, that much money. Then what they will do? They will make a developer only. They'll give additional role for him as Scrum Master. Okay. So what is the responsibilities of Scrum Master? Scrum Master is the person who is taking lead to have all the meetings. Okay. He is the person who will take the status from all the team members. So whenever the product owner wants some status, he will contact whom?
Scrum Master.
Team members.
Scrum Master.
No, he will not check with the team members, because already there is a Scrum Master who is having all the status of the team. Because some Scrum Master will get the status from each and every individual of the team members in the Scrum team. Okay. So now the Scrum Master will have status of the whole team. So the product owner will get the status from
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master. Okay. See, because in a company, there will be multiple Scrum teams. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the company also wants to know the status of each Scrum team. Then they will not call all the employees to the meeting. Instead of that, they will call only the Scrum Masters. Yes or no? So by calling the Scrum Master, they will get the status of each Scrum team. Is that easy or not?
Yes.
So Scrum Master is just a role. Okay. There is nothing technical involved with the Scrum Master role. Only its process. Okay. So the person is responsible for ensuring the team has everything they need for delivery. Also, Scrum Master is a responsible person to make sure that the Scrum team is not blocking their work. They are not facing any issue. If they are having some issue with their work, it is the responsibility of Scrum Master to make sure that the blockers are removed so that the developers and testers will work easily. Okay. For example, one of the development team says that, okay, I am because my laptop is not working, he's telling. So it is responsibility of the Scrum Master to make sure that his laptop issue is resolved fastly so that he can continue his work. Okay. So for example, he is telling, okay, I am not having access to this application. I want permissions. So it is responsible of the Scrum Master to make sure that to give him the permission as soon as possible. Okay. So he is like a facilitator. Scrum Master is a facilitator. Facilitator means he's the person who is making all the facilities for the development team and the testing team to the Scrum team to make sure that they are working fastly. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Scrum Master is like a coach, facilitator, and mediator in between. Okay. They set up the meetings and communicate process and blockers. Scrum Master can be any person in the team. And sometimes we have a dedicated Scrum Master. Who is Scrum Master? He is a person who facilitates between the teams,
Developers and testers.
between the Scrum team, okay, to make sure that no one is blocked with their work. Okay, so what the Scrum Master will do, the role of the Scrum Master is to have different meetings, to lead the meeting. Okay, clear? So Scrum Master work will be only sending emails, getting the status, okay, getting things done. When I'm telling getting things done, he will not do any coding, he will not test anything. Okay, he will act in between. He will just act as a mediator, facilitator. Okay. Okay, next, the development team. This is nothing but the Scrum team, which involves developers and testers. Is that clear? What are the three roles and what job they will have? Okay. Now, so what is a backlog? In Agile development, a product backlog. See, backlog is nothing but a product backlog, we can say. They can tell just a backlog or product backlog. Okay. Product backlog is a prioritized list of deliverables, such as new features, what has to be completed, that should be implemented as part of a project or product development. In simple words, backlog is nothing but to-do list. Okay. What is backlog?
To-do list.
To-do list. What is to-do list? To-do list is nothing but what are the things we have to do. Okay.
Okay.
As a list of things you must do to deliver the product to market. Okay. So what are the pending work we have to do? And what is the priority of the work we have to do? All those things are defined in a backlog. Okay. Clear? So what the backlog will contains?
Yes, sir.
What the backlog will contains?
Will contain user stories.
The list of user stories which are developed or not yet developed.
Not at
Not
developed.
Yet to be developed.
Very good, very good. Okay. So now, so we saw three roles about product owner, Scrum Master, and development. Okay. Now we are going to see what are the meetings in Scrum, in Sprint. What are the meetings? Okay. Because I told Scrum, Agile is not any technical thing. It is just a process. So now we are going to discuss what is that process. What are the meetings? Okay, in software company, process is everything does in a meetings only. Okay, whatever they want, they will have meeting only. So first one is we are having totally 5 meetings. How many meetings?
5 meetings.
The first meeting is called refinement meeting. What?
Refinement.
It is called a sprint. It is called as a sprint refinement or backlog refinement or grooming. There are 3 names. Okay, either sprint refinement or backlog refinement or grooming. This is one of the name of the meeting. Okay, they call it as a refinement meeting. So what is this refinement meeting? What happens in the refinement meeting means So before start of any work, we have to know what we have to do. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So they are telling the client, the product owner wants a login page. So now the team wants to know what are the functionalities available in the login page. What is the requirement of the client, product owner? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
In refinement meeting, that is explained. Business analyst will explain that to the development team. So what the business analyst will do, the business analyst has created a small user stories. Yes or no? They create the user stories. They have all the list of user stories in the backlog. Now, in the grooming refinement meeting, the business analyst will take one user story and will explain to the team. In refinement meeting, what happens?
Business analyst.
Groom the user stories.
Will explain. Grooming means explaining. Okay. Okay. So in refinement meeting, what happens? The business analyst will groom, will refine the user stories, will explain the user stories to whom?
Team, development team.
To the development.
Exactly, to the Scrum team. Okay. So in Scrum, so we can call in your team when you started working, they may call, okay, we have a backlog meeting, we have backlog refinement meeting, we have sprint backlog meeting, grooming meeting. Then you should not think, hey, what is this meeting? So in that meeting, they are going to explain you the user stories. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, we thought in requirement, first, what will happen? We will take the requirement and analyze the requirement and write the test cases, right? Yes or no? That is overview. But actual how it happens means in the refinement meeting, they will explain the requirement to us. Okay. By going through that requirement, we will clarify if any doubts we have, and then we start writing the test cases. Okay. Clear, right? No confusion, right?
No.
In a backlog refinement meeting, what happens?
Explains
the grooming.
requirements to the Scrum team.
Okay, who will explain?
Business analyst.
Business analyst.
Yeah, on product owner also will be there. Okay.
Okay.
So in Scrum, backlog refinement is an ongoing process in which the product owner and the development team collaborates. See, when I tell development team means business analyst also comes under development team. Yes or no? Because development team is nothing but a Scrum team. So in the Scrum team contains business analyst, developers, testers, everything. Yes or no? So for product owner, it's a development team. Development team means all the roles involved in it. Okay. So in backlog refinement is an ongoing process in which the product owner and development team collaborates to ensure that user stories on the product backlog are understood and clear. Is the definition clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So in backlog meeting, what happens? Simple. Product owner and business analyst will explain the stories to the Scrum team. Okay.
Yeah.
Business analyst or product owner will explain the user stories to the team based on the priority and make the backlog ready for the next sprint. See, when next sprint starts, they have to take some stories to develop. Yes or no? To test.
Yeah.
For that, the development team should have the understanding each story, what is the story, what is the work they have to going to do in the story. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that will be explained in this backlog meeting. Okay. So simple in one line, backlog meeting means nothing. The business analyst and product owner are going to explain the user stories to the team. That's it. Okay. So they are explaining the requirement. Okay.
Okay.
So how they are explaining the requirement? They are creating a user stories. Why they are creating user stories? They are breaking the whole requirement into small parts to make sure that the work is happening fastly. Yes or no? Okay. So user story is nothing but a small part of that requirement, small functionality. And they're explaining each and every user story means they are explaining each and every small functionalities. Okay. So backlog refinement means explaining the functionalities, explaining the user stories to the Scrum team. Is that clear? So
Yes.
now assume I am having 100 user stories in my backlog. How many user stories I have in the backlog?
100.
100. Okay. Is it possible to develop all the 100 in a one sprint?
No.
No.
No. Okay. We don't know. It may take 10 sprints or 20 sprints to develop all the 100. It depends based on the functionalities, based on the complexity of the functionality, based on how much difficult the functionalities are. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now what they will do, my business analyst, see, this meeting will be for maximum 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours maximum. Okay. So on that day, what happens? So who will send you this invite to this meeting?
Business analyst.
Who will send the invite to this?
Business analyst or product manager?
Any other answers?
Scrum Master.
See, Scrum Master is the person who is facilitating. See, the business analyst and the product owner are explaining. Okay. But Scrum Master is the person who is having all the meetings, who is responsible for the meeting. Okay. So Scrum Master will send an invite to product owner, will send an invite to the business analyst, will send an invite to the development teams saying, this is the timing of refinement. You people be ready to join the meeting. Okay.
Okay.
So product owner will also join the meeting. Business analyst will join the meeting. The whole development team will join the meeting. And now the facilitator is Scrum Master, but this meeting is not led by Scrum Master, but it will lead by product owner and business analyst. Okay. But the facilitator is Scrum Master only always. Okay. So in the Agile, each and every meeting will be set by Scrum Master only. Okay. Because that is his role. That is his job. Okay. So who will send you the invite for business and to the backlog meeting?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master. Okay. So who will lead this backlog meeting?
Product
Analyst.
owner or the
Owner or business
business analyst.
Exactly. They together collaborate and lead this meeting. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now we had how many user stories in the backlog?
100.
100. Okay. So after once if you complete all these 100 stories, our project is completed. Assume example. Okay. It may take 3 months, 4 months. We don't know. So, but in Agile, in sprint, how many weeks we are working for one sprint?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. So now assume today is Monday, right? So today is my new first sprint is starting. Today is my first sprint is starting, means I am starting my project work today. If today my sprint is starting, already last week, the product refinement should have already happened. Today sprint planning means already my Scrum Master would have planned before that the refinement is done, so that the team know at least some user stories what can be taken. Is that clear? In sprint planning, we are going to plan how much work we can do in that sprint in the 2 weeks. What we are going to plan in the sprint planning?
How much work we have to take?
How much work we can take?
We can take. Okay.
We have to take. No, we can take, because you are the persons who are developing. You are the persons who are testing. So you have to tell how much work you can take and develop. Yes or no? Because at the end of the each sprint, you are responsible to give the demo, give the presentation to the product owner. Okay. If you are telling, hey, I can take all the 100 user stories. If you're taking in sprint planning all the 100 stories, then at the end of the sprint, at the end of the 2 weeks, you have to deliver that work, whatever you are taking in the sprint planning. Okay. Sprint planning means you are promising to the client, to the product owner, that you are going to deliver this work. Is that clear? So in sprint planning, what happens? They are going to plan how much work they are going to deliver in this sprint. Only in this sprint, okay?
Yeah.
So in planning, what you are going to do?
Planning how much work they are going to deliver.
Exactly, okay? So if you want to do planning, then you should know what is that work also, right? Yes or no? How complex this work is, yes or no? Without knowing what is that work, can you do planning?
No.
You have to know that work, right? So before each sprint, the refinement session will be done. In refinement session, they are explaining the stories. So based on the stories in the planning, you can think how many stories you can take and work. Is that clear?
Yes.
Because for example, in 100 stories, in refinement of 1 hour or 2 hours, they explained you some 8 stories in the duration. Okay. Means now the whole Scrum team know in detail about the 8 stories from the 100 backlog. Now in sprint planning, how many stories they are clear about?
8.
In 8 stories, now they will decide how many stories they can take into the sprint and they can deliver. Because they know only functionalities of 8 stories. Assume if the development team tells I can take 10 stories, they can't tell because the other 2 stories, they don't know what is the work of other 2 stories. What is the complexity of the other 2 stories? Because the other 2 stories are not yet refined. Yes or no? Because the other 2 stories, once they explained, then only the development team will know what is the work of the other 2 stories. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So in sprint planning, they will take the stories only which they are refined. Clear?
Yeah.
So first meeting is, what is the first meeting?
Refinement.
Refinement meeting.
Refinement meeting, very good. Then the second meeting is
Sprint planning.
sprint planning. So in sprint planning, what we are going to plan?
How much work we are delivering?
We can deliver in
We are no. How
We
much
have.
work? We can.
Okay.
Okay. See, we have to deliver means somebody is telling that you have to do this work. Okay. But they are telling how much work you can do. Because at the end of the 2 weeks, you are responsible. If you are unable to do something, then you have to explain why it has been not completed. Okay. So you have to plan and take only how much you can finish. You should not blindly take more work. If you take more work and if you are unable to complete, then you have to justify why you have not completed. Okay. So you have to take how much you can do. That's it. No one will force you. Okay. Clear? And also you can't just take very small work also, because they may ask why you are taking just small work. Okay. So whatever work you have to take, the whole team should agree to that. Okay. Clear?
yes.
So in sprint planning, the purpose of the sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint in 2 weeks of work. Okay. And how that work can be achieved. This sprint planning meeting happens at the beginning of each new sprint. Okay. So who will set the sprint planning meeting?
Scrum Master.
Exactly. Scrum Master. It is a role of the Scrum Master, right, to set the sprint planning meeting. Okay. And who will lead the sprint planning meeting?
Business analyst.
Scrum Master.
Exactly. No. Scrum Master will lead the meeting. Okay. Scrum Master, see, backlog refinement is led by business analyst and product owner. Okay. Sprint planning is led by Scrum Master. So now Scrum Master will ask the whole Scrum team how much work they can deliver. They are answering to the Scrum Master. Okay. Who is answering to the Scrum Master?
Team, Scrum team.
The Scrum team. Okay. So now, if you want to do some planning, assume you are inviting some 15 people to your house for dinner. Okay. Now you have to plan how much food you want to prepare for 15 people. Yes or no?
Yes.
When you invite 15 people, that already they are telling 3 people are telling no, we have some other priority work, we can't come, sorry. 3 people are rejecting your invitation. Then how many people are accepting? 12 people are accepting. Means for how many people you have to prepare a dinner?
12 plus.
Because already you know that 3 people are being absent. Only 12 people are available. So you'll prepare food for only 12 people. If you prepare food for 15 people, the food is going to be waste. Yes or no? Excess, waste. You know. So this is called planning. This is what you are doing, planning. Yes or no?
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Why you are doing planning before starting the work? Before cooking only you are doing planning. You are inviting the people and you are planning how much people are coming. So that accordingly you will prepare the food. So this is called the planning of the function, right? Whenever you are doing some function, you will do some planning. You will see how many people you're inviting, how much food you have to prepare. Yes or no? See, if you don't know, if the people don't tell that they are not coming, they know that they are not coming, but they are not telling you. In that case, what you will do? You will prepare for 12 people or 15 people?
15.
Because you don't know that they are not going to come. Because they have not told you. Yes or no? Then you will prepare food for 15 people. But ultimately what happens? They are not going to come. And they then only will think that, okay, they are not coming. They did not come, so the food is waste. Because if they know early, they can tell you. If they don't tell, for example, they also don't know. At the last moment, they got sick, assume. In that case, no one can do anything. Okay. Okay. If somebody asks why the food is waste, you can tell. Because these 3 people has not turned up. They have not come up. So the food is waste. Yes or no? Because now you have a reason to justify why the food is waste. Okay. Assume if the 3 people know that they will not come and they can inform before so that you can plan accordingly. So now in sprint planning also, the whole team is sitting now in a meeting. You think that we all are sitting in a meeting room. Okay. We all 7 people. Assume now I am a Scrum Master. Okay. Now first we will discuss like a backlog. So now assume we 7 people in the sitting. You just imagine that we all are sitting in a meeting room. Now I am this meeting is called as a refinement meeting. What is the meeting called?
Refinement.
Okay. So what happens generally, the Scrum Master will send a date and time of the meeting. So on the sharply on that time, okay, we all go to a meeting room and then we all sit. Now I think I am a product owner. So now I will explain that. I will take some stories from the backlog. I will explain to the team. If you have any doubts, you will ask me. So it will be an interactive session. Okay. Always the meeting should be interactive. So when I tell interactive means I will tell something, you should ask some questions if you don't understand. If you understand everything is fine. So now refinement meeting is done. And end of the refinement meeting, what would be the end of the refinement meeting? What would be the output of refinement meeting?
User stories.
So the team understands the user stories, some of the user stories. Yes or no?
Yeah.
The Scrum team has understood some stories, what they have to do in this story. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes? Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Very good. So now refinement meeting is over. Now Scrum Master is sending one more meeting. So you should remember all these meetings will not happen in the same day. These meetings may happen in 2 weeks, anytime. Okay. Based on everyone's available. Okay. So now Scrum Master has sent the date and time of sprint planning meeting. So everyone will accept that. Everyone will go to the meeting room. Assume now we are sitting in a meeting room of what is the name of the meeting?
Scrum planning.
No.
Sprint planning.
Sprint planning. Okay. It is called as
Sprint plan.
sprint planning. So we are in a sprint planning now. This meeting also will be for 1 hour. So now who is going to lead the meeting?
Scrum Master.
Exactly. So now Scrum Master will ask each and every Scrum member what is his available for next 2 weeks. What he's going to check first thing? I am going to ask Shravanti, are you available for all the 10 days? Because for every week we are working for 5 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So 2 weeks means 10 working days. How many working days?
10.
Yes, sir. Yes or no? So now I'm asking Shravanti, are you working for a whole 10 working days or you are having some planned leaves? So Shravanti will tell, no, sir, I am working for all days. I don't have any planned leave. Okay. Then I will ask Farhana, how about you? I will ask Kazinara, Sadiq. I will ask Divya, I will ask Ashwini. So the Scrum Master is checking with each and every individual to know their availability, because based on their availability only they can do the planning. So no. Now
Yes.
Shravanti is telling, no, I'm already having a plan leave of 1 week. I'm not available for 1 week. And Farhana is telling, no, I am not available for the 2 weeks. Today only I am available. I am going to a long leave. I am not available for 2 weeks. In that case, they will not take the work for Farhana for 2 weeks. They will not take 1 week work for Shravanti. They will plan in such a way that Shravanti will work only for 1 week. They will take only small work for Shravanti. They know that Farhana is not going to work for 2 weeks, so they will not take any work in that sprint for Farhana. Yes or no? Even though if they take work for Farhana, there is no Farhana to work. Who will work? Then the Scrum Master have to sit and work. Yes or no? Because at the end of the sprint, they have to deliver them. If they are not delivering, then the team is responsible to answer why they are not delivering. If they tell, no, Farhana was on planned leave, then the product owner will ask, when you know that Farhana is on planned leave, then why you took the more stories? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then you know that 3 people will not come for your home for dinner. Then why you prepare food for 15 people? You can prepare the food for only 12 people, right? In that case, the food will not get waste. Yes or no? So in the planning, first thing is to find the team capacity. That is also called as team velocity. We have to find the team velocity. Why? To do the planning of the next 2 sprints. Is that clear? So in sprint planning, the Scrum Master will lead the meeting and he will know the availability of each and every individual. And then he will think, okay, how many people are available? Then they will decide how much work they can take. Okay. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So what happens in the sprint is, the purpose of the sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work can be achieved. The sprint planning meeting happens at the beginning of each sprint. Scrum Master will discuss the team velocity and take the user stories into the sprints. So now from the backlog, there were 8 stories which are refined. How many stories?
8 stories.
Yes or no?
8 stories.
From that 8 stories only, they can take how many stories they can deliver. They can't take more than 8 because they don't know other stories. What is the work? Okay, so the business analyst and the product owner will make sure that they have sufficient stories refined before each sprint. Okay, assume if business analyst and product owner has not refined 8 stories, assume they have refined only 5 stories, but my development team is telling that 5 stories is not sufficient. They can deliver more stories. Even though they can deliver more stories, they can't take more stories in the sprint because they don't know the stories. What is the work? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Even though they have free time in the sprint, they can't take more work. So that the business analyst and product owner will make sure that they have sufficient stories to the sprint. Okay, planning. Clear? So what happens in the sprint planning? They will decide how much stories, how much work they can deliver at the end of the sprint. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So Monday sprint planning is over. Monday morning. So we all go back and we start working because we know what to work. Yes or no? Because we have taken that 8 stories or 5 stories. Assume from a backlog of 8 refined stories, we have taken 5 stories to deliver. So we promised now that we will deliver these 5 stories at the end of the sprint. How many stories we promised?
5.
Very good. So now we all know on what stories we have to work. Okay, now Monday over. Now Tuesday. Again, Tuesday, what happens? Everyone will come to office. Yes or no?
Yes.
Now the Scrum Master have to know on what we have worked yesterday. What the Scrum Master have to know?
What we have worked yesterday.
What work we have done yesterday and what we are going to do today. Who wants to know?
Scrum Master.
The Scrum Master have to know that what we have done yesterday and what we are going to do today. Is that clear?
Yes.
See, whatever you tell, he will believe. Okay, but because he wants to know the status of the team. Because somebody asked, he should be able to answer to them. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Clear. So daily there will be a meeting called daily stand-up meeting. What is that meeting?
Daily stand-up meeting.
Daily stand-up.
So this meeting will be having all the 10 working days in a sprint up. Okay. That is called daily stand-up meeting. This meeting will be for 15 minutes. How much minutes?
15 minutes.
Who will send invite for this meeting?
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
To whom he will send?
To the team.
Development team.
Team.
But he will not send this to a product owner. Because product owner don't want to be part of this meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
See, he can send no problem, but product owner may or may not join. That is his wish based on his availability. Okay. But this is very important to the Scrum team to join because they have to give the status on what they were working yesterday and what they are going to work today. If something is blocking their work, okay. If Farhana tells I'm blocked with this work, then it is whose responsibility to unblock Farhana?
Scrum Master.
Scrum.
Exactly. Okay. So in daily stand-up meeting, for how much time it will take?
15 minutes.
What is the name of the meeting?
Daily
stand-up. Daily stand-up.
See, either they can go to the meeting room or they all can go to the Scrum Master place and then or they can just stand up in the place because all the team sits together, right? So what happens on that specific time, everyone will stand up at that place and then each and every person will tell what they have done yesterday. So the one developer will tell, okay, I am working on this user story 1. Okay. And he will tell, I will continue working on the same today also. And he will tell, okay, I'm not blocked in on anything. My work is going. The next person will tell, okay, I'm working on user story 2. Okay. He will tell, okay, I have finished user story 2 development. I have sent my code to review. Okay, the other person tester will tell, okay, I'm writing test cases on user story 1. I will continue today also on the same. So everyone will tell what they have worked yesterday, what they are going to work today. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So daily stand-up will be for how much time?
15 minutes.
Exactly. So this will be every day 15 minutes meeting. During this daily stand-up, each member of the development team will tell what you have done yesterday, what you are going to do today, or any impediments, means any blockers. Clear?
Okay.
So this is not only to the Scrum Master. Now, end of this 15 minutes, what happens? Tell me. Sadiq, you tell me at end of the 15 minutes, what happens?
Discuss what you did understand not going today. Is something blocking?
So end of the 15 minutes, now Shravanti is telling what she has done yesterday and what she's going to do today. And Divya is also going to tell what she has done yesterday and what she's going to do today. Ashwini is going to tell. So end of the daily stand-up meeting, will Tazinara also is team member? Will Tazinara know that what Shravanti, Ashwini, and Divya is working yesterday and were working today? Yes or no?
Yes.
Will Farhana know what others are doing?
No.
Why Farhana
She-
will not know?
If she's on leave, she can't know.
No,
If
she's available. She's available. No?
yes, she can.
Will Sadiq know?
Yes.
Will Shravanti also know on what
Yes.
Tazinara, Farhana, Sadiq are working? So in these 15 minutes, everyone are going to share what they are working, what they worked yesterday, what they are going to do today. Means after 15 minutes, everyone know what is the status of the team. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So this is to get together and communicate individual progress toward the sprint. Okay. Clear? So we will all know at the end of the daily stand-up that what is happening. Okay. Clear? So till now, how many meetings we have gone through?
3.
3.
Exactly. What are the meetings?
Refinement.
Design and
Daily stand-up.
Super. So now the next meeting is sprint review. So daily stand-up will happen daily. Okay.
Yeah.
For all the week. There is next meeting called sprint review. Sprint review is nothing but sprint demo. What is that?
Sprint demo.
This will happen at the last day of the sprint. For example, this is my start day of Monday. Next week, Friday, will be the last day of my sprint day. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So because 2 week sprint, so next week my sprint will end. Means next week Friday is my last day of the sprint. So next week Friday I will be having a meeting called sprint demo, sprint review. So who will send the invite for this?
Scrum Master.
Master.
So in sprint demo, who will give demo to whom?
Scrum Master give the product owner.
Can you repeat?
Scrum Master give the demo to the product owner.
Is
By
Scrum
the
Master
committee
is the Scrum Master technical guy?
No.
Sir?
Is the Scrum Master technical guy?
No.
Then how he can give demo? The Scrum team, the person who has developed, the person who has tested, they only know more about the application. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So the Scrum team will give presentation, will demo to the product owner.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So who will go? Who is giving demo?
Scrum team.
The Scrum Master will assign the meetings. He will send invite to the team. Okay. And then the demo is led by the Scrum team, development team. Okay.
Yes.
Each individual will present what they have developed. Or in a team, they can take a responsible. One person can show whatever they have developed. So for example, the sprint number 1, Ashwini can present all the stories, whatever they have developed and tested. Next sprint, Farhana. Next sprint, Sadiq. No, they can divide like that also. Okay. So in sprint demo, we will be presenting what we have done to the product owner. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So this when this sprint review meeting will be? When?
End of the
sprint.
End of the sprint. Okay. At the end of the each sprint review provides a platform to the development team to demonstrate, to give demo all the work that has been completed to the stakeholders. Stakeholders, nothing but it's like same client, product owners. Okay. This allows product owners to see things sooner than later. So by these, product owner can see the things earlier. Yes or no? And then they can come up with if any changes are required or any modifications are required. Product owner, development team, and Scrum Master and stakeholders, customers, and even developers from other projects also can be part of this to see the demo. Okay.
Okay.
Clear what happens in this? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now there is last meeting. I will just tell this meeting and stop the session. Okay. So this is the last meeting. This is called retrospective. What is the last meeting?
Retrospective.
This is also will take place on the last day of the sprint. Okay. What is the name of this meeting?
Retrospective.
Retrospective.
Okay. So who will send invite for this meeting?
Scrum Master.
Okay. So here also, this invite will not be for the product owner. Okay. This is only for Scrum team. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Daily stand up and the retrospective will be part of only Scrum team. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? All
Yeah.
other meetings, product owner will be involved. So in retrospective, what they will discuss means they will all go. For example, if we want to do retrospective, then what we will do, we will all go and sit in a meeting on that specified day and time. Now, this meeting also is led by Scrum Master. Now, Scrum Master will ask each and individual, like I will ask, okay, Ashwini, today, Ashwini, can you tell how the things happened in this 1 week, in this one sprint? So now Ashwini will tell what went good, what did not went well in this sprint, what improvements we can do. So now Scrum Master is taking the feedback from each and every individual so that they can follow the best practices in upcoming sprints. If they tell, okay, we have done this mistake, so we should not repeat this mistake again. So then the Scrum Master will note down that this is the difficulty which we faced. This is the mistake which we did, which we should not follow in the upcoming sprints. Or these are the best practices which my team has followed, which can be followed in upcoming sprint also. Is that clear? So in retrospective, it is a meeting to discuss what went well, what did not went well in the sprint, and what are the best practices which we can carry forward to other sprints also. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So retrospective meeting, what we are going to discuss?
What will fine? What did not working properly?
Okay. So in sprint retrospective is the final Scrum ceremony, means final Scrum meeting in the sequence that allows the team to look back on the work that was just completed and identify items that could be improved. The sprint retrospective is the meeting. It gives Scrum team a platform to discuss things that are going well, things that could be better, and some suggestions for changes. Is that clear to everyone? In sprint retrospective, what happens? So they will be discussing what went well, what did not went well, what could be different to be improved. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Is that clear? See,
Yes.
for example, when we are playing some game, okay, at the end of the game, the whole team will sit and discuss, right, why we lost the game, what was the problem, what improvement we can do for our next game. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what they are doing, they are just analyzing what mistakes they have done. Or they will, if the team has won, they may tell, okay, we have done good job. Okay, so we have done these things, so we can do the same thing in the next game also, so that we'll try to win. Yes or no? The same way, this meeting is called retrospective, where they will be discussing what went well, what did not went well. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
So see, in the whole agile, do you think there is some technical thing?
No.
No,
No.
everything is just a process which we have to follow. Everything is meetings. Why we are doing all this? To achieve our project successfully. Okay. Why we are doing our planning? So that when we do planning, we will know what we are going to do in the next 2 weeks, what we are going to achieve in the next 2 weeks. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? Why we are having a demo to show the work, whatever we are doing. So if we have demo, only then everyone will know what we are doing. Everyone will appreciate our work, our hard work. Yes or no? Yes. Why we are having retrospective? To discuss what problems we are facing, so that what improvements we can do. Why we are having daily stand-up? To discuss what we all are working, so that the whole team. Okay. So now the Scrum Master will have all the status of the team after every daily stand-up meeting. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm telling daily stand-up meeting. And also there will be one more meeting called Scrum of Scrums. What?
Scrum?
Of Scrums.
Okay.
So we one team is a Scrum team. In the same way, in a company, there will be a multiple Scrum teams. Yes or no?
Yeah.
And there will be a meeting called Scrum of Scrums, where all the Scrum Masters will join. It will not be daily, it will be a weekly meeting, you see. So all the Scrum masters of all the teams will join and discuss the progress of their each team. Okay. So Scrum of Scrums meeting, who will be joining the meeting?
Scrum
Only
Masters.
Scrum Masters.
Only Scrum Masters, because all the Scrum Masters have the status of their team. Instead of joining all the 100 people, only the 5 Scrum Masters will join and discuss the status. Okay.
Okay.
In these meetings also, all the product owners will join. You know, because sometimes what happens, my team will be dependent on other team also sometimes. Okay. So they will know when my team will be delivering the requirement to that team so that they can start their work. Okay. Clear? So this is the agile. So this is very, very, very important. You have to know what happens in the agile process. What are the meetings? Okay. Because when you tell I'm having 4 years of experience, 5 years of experience, you have already attended these meetings. Yes or no? You know what you do in the meeting. So you have to go through and get all the knowledge. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is very, very, very important. Okay. Yeah, fine. We'll stop the session and we'll continue tomorrow at the same time. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye. If you have any doubts, just let me know. Okay. Bye.
Bye.